After looking at that life sentence in prison, the biggest priority in my life was to try and reach out to them, because I loved them so much. They were my brothers, and I so desperately wanted to reach them with the God that reached me. So I went to tell them, and they did just like I did in that cell. They rejected me. They didn't want to hear anything I had to say about Jesus. They knew that there was things changing in me they didn't quite understand. They didn't see it for the long haul. They didn't see the change that was happening in my life for the long haul. They thought maybe I was going through a phase or something. But I continued to preach to them about Jesus. I continued to share with them and tell them, you know what, we don't got to live like this anymore. You know, that preacher man in that cell didn't give up on me, and I was not about to give up on my friends. It was that preacher's persistence that eventually won me. And so I knew if I just would be persistent with them, that I would get them. My friend Tyrone and Freddie and I, we all three worked at the same company. We all three had an apartment together. And my friend Tyrone one day came to work, and he was really bent out of shape. My boss had sold him a car, and unfortunately he wasn't able to register the car or anything like that. And he was really mad that there was things going on with the car situation after he had given my boss the money. So anyway, long story short, when he didn't get the money back from my boss, he started getting angry, and he started getting mad about it. And this anger would build up, and then a month goes by, and he's just tired of it. So one day he comes to work, and he says, I'm going to get my money. And I said, well, how are you going to get your money? And he lifted up his shirt, and he showed me the gun, and he said, I'm going to go get my money. And I said, Tyrone, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to go kick in his door and get my money. I said, man, bro, you don't got to do that. I said, God can help you out. God can fix this for you. You don't have to go do that. And he told me, roll with me. Let's go get my money. And I'm like, man, I'm not going, bro. I said, God saved my life. I cannot go with you and kick in the boss's door to get your money. And he was like, you're nothing, you're weak, you ain't down no more. That's what the gang slang is. If you don't want to do things with them, you ain't down no more, you ain't a homie no more. You turned weak on us. And I said, Tyrone, don't you care that I was looking at a life sentence and supernaturally I'm here? Don't you care that I already done enough for this gang? Been shot for this gang? Did time for this gang? Lost friends in this gang? I can't go do this with you. And he didn't understand. And I tried to tell him, bro, God loves you. You don't got to do this. Let God do it. He slammed the door behind me and said he's going to lunch. He left, and about 2 hours later, 2 detectives came to my job, and they were looking for me and his blood brother. And they were like, which one of you is Scoob? Which one of you is Freddie? I'm like, I'm Scoob. Now really, I thought something from the past was coming back at me or something. And my friend, Freddie, which is his brother, he got scared. He kind of didn't want to say who he was. But then he finally did, and they said, we need to talk to you. So we thought maybe, we started getting all these thoughts in our head. You know, I thought maybe they wanted to take us and beat us up, because a couple of weeks before, one of my friends had gotten a fight with some police officers, and he shot one of them. And he's in prison doing a life sentence today because of that. But they really had a thing out for us. And even though I had changed, in their minds they said, once a gang member, always a gang member. And so I thought they were coming to get us. They told us they needed to take us and get in their cars. And I thought, man, they're going to go drop us off in the enemy's neighborhood or something. But they told us that my friend Tyrone was trapped in our apartment, and they wanted us to come and try to talk him out. We found out that my friend Tyrone, when he left, he did go to my boss's house, and he kicked in the door, and my boss wasn't there. So he put a gun to my boss's wife's head and said, give me my money. And she said, I'll give it to you, but I gotta go to the bank and get it. And it's him that doesn't want to pay you. He's going out of town in a couple hours, and if you'll just wait, I'll go get the money. And she's like, take my jewelry, take my car, take everything. He said, I don't want nothing, I just want my money. And she convinced him that she was going to go to the bank and get it. And he believed her. So he left and he went home. She did the right thing. She called the police. So the police went looking for him, and they found the vehicle at our apartment. They surrounded the house. When he seen them, he went out and started shooting at them. So they decided to get us to go in there and try to talk him out of the house. But really, they didn't want us to go talk him out of the house. They were liars. They knew what had happened. After he shot at them, they fired tear gas in, and they thought maybe they could try to draw him out. He ran in one room and tried to hide. He ran in another room and tried to hide, but the tear gas was too strong. He couldn't get away from it. So he tried to cover himself up with a blanket and a pillow. And when he couldn't get away from that, he took the gun and he shot himself in the head. Because of what my friend did the week before to one of their officers, they really wanted to rub it into our faces. They didn't want us to talk him out of the house. They wanted us to identify the body that was in our house. When I walked in there and had to see my friend, all I could remember is I tried to tell him that there was hope for his life, that he didn't have to do what he was going to do, but he didn't listen to me. He wanted to do things his way. He thought that he had life all figured out. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. And I didn't want to be a part of that no more.